This is the free motion quilting tutorial for Aztec Path. This design is stitched by first stitching a straight line, and then off that straight line you're going to stitch these cross shapes or plus sign shapes. And so I'm going to stitch one in one direction and then go back to my straight line, head down just a bit, and stitch off in the opposite direction. When I was quilting this, I was thinking about the other design that I've created called Echo Crosses. And crosses and plus sign shapes are really something that I haven't played with very much on the project. And I was wanting to experiment with this design type because straight line and sharp angle designs like this one are very interesting. They attract your eye in a very interesting way because so many of the lines are straight and the angles are so sharp. They do recede a little bit more into the background and flatten the quilt out a bit more, it seems, and they attract a lot less attention than the flowing and curving shapes, but they do hold their own, and they're a very interesting addition to a quilt, particularly if you put them around some very curving shapes. So now the next step of this design, once you finish your line of crosses, more or less, then you're going to travel stitch and echo around them. I'm just echo stitching all around them on one side. And you can see that this is just kind of building out that texture. Whatever you set up with that line, it's just going to expand it and help it to fill and show off that much more. I called this design Aztec Path because it really reminded me of some of the Aztec designs that you see in South America that are, they start with something very, very simple set of lines, but then they echo it, almost like the molas that I see from South America. Very, very interesting. And whenever I finished quilting this design, that's what I saw. I really think that this is a good design to put in the sashing of your quilt. And sashing is kind of a narrow area, and a lot of quilters will leave that area blank, but I think this design would fit wonderfully down the middle of a sashing. It would add a nice bit of rather flat texture, but it would also add a little bit of interest in an area that a lot of people leave blank. Here you can see I've kind of cut to the very end, and I've simply echo quilted that line back and forth over and over and over again until I filled the entire block with it. And I did that on one side, and then I travel stitched over and did that to the other side. And that's basically how this design works. And here's what it looks like whenever you finish Aztec Path. For over 200 videos on free motion quilting just like this one, plus loads of tools and supplies for this awesome hobby, go to daystyledesigns.com.